In this video, we will review how to order and group text and paragraphs. To prevent paragraph orphans, click the Page Layout tab, and then click the dialog box launcher button on the paragraph group. Click on the Line and Page Breaks tab if necessary, and then make sure Widow Orphan Control is selected. You can also choose other pagination options as desired. When finished, click OK. To insert a break to create a section, click the Page Layout tab and then click the Breaks button in the Page Setup group. Notice that you've got different types of section breaks, including next page and continuous. If you click continuous, it will start the next section at the insertion point, but you can see that it didn't insert a page break. We do have a section displayed down here so that we can see it. If you don't see that on yours, you can right-click the status bar and make sure section is checked. Now, if I click at the very top of the document, you can see that it takes me back to section 1. Another break would be like to put it on the next page. And you can see that started us another section, and then it carried it down to the next page. So just make sure you practice those before you take the exam. To create multiple columns within sections, you want to select the text for columns, click the Page Layout tab, and then click on the Columns button, and then you can choose the desired number of columns. If you need additional columns, click on More Columns, and you can see that you get more options so that you can have more control over that. And then click OK. And you can see that it will split it into multiple columns. To add titles to sections, you need to create all of your section breaks. And we will open a different document for this demo. Notice that we have various sections in this document. And you can see here we're still in section 1, and if we go down here, we are in section 2. Okay, so if we want to put in titles, which I'm assuming would be like header titles, we can do that. Let's return to the top of the document. Go to the Insert tab, and then decide if you want headers or footers. For this example, we'll just use a header. And then click on Edit Header. And notice that we're in the header for section 1. So I'm just going to put in section 1 title header. Now I need to scroll down in the document to where section 2 starts. You can see we're still in section 1. Now we're in section 2. Well, obviously I don't want the section 1 header in section 2. So I'm going to click this Link to Previous button to prevent section 2 from linking to section 1. Okay, so now I can change my section 2 title header. And if I scroll on down, we can see that. Now if I close the header and footer, when I return to the top, we should have section 1 here. We're still in section 1. But when we get to section 2, you can see that it changes it because, again, I removed that Link to Previous Header option. To force a page break, you click the Page Layout tab, click the Breaks button in the Page Setup group, and then choose Page for the page break. And you can see that it scoots it down to the next page. And this concludes the review for order and group text and paragraphs.